TNT logging show. It's a TNT logging show. Gotta get it, let's go. It's a TNT logging show. It's a TNT logging show. Gotta get it, let's go. It's the TNT logging show. It's the TNT logging show. Gotta get it, let's go. It's the TNT logging show. It's the TNT logging show. Gotta get it, let's go. 848 L2 on the pool. Got 4 Mack trucks, they all want wood. 726 E love cutting guns. 643 says I want some. 234 they love low tree. Summertime polish so thick make them sleep. 3% polish Chevron is my green. Cost $1,000 but I need new teeth. This a pine thinning but I love a clear cut. Cut it off the stump some about an oak bud. Water still dripping out, that's number weight. Just notified, okay, gross 88. 50K will push a roll super straight. Brown sauce says I swear don't play. Can't forget the steel pole saw, it's okay. Just trim the load up, I'm heading that way. It's the TNT logging show. It's the TNT logging show. Gotta get it, let's go. It's the TNT logging show. It's the TNT logging show. Gotta get it, let's go. It's the TNT logging show. It's the TNT logging show. Gotta get it, let's go.
Get tired, put in some more work.
Logging show. Gotta get it, let's go. It's the TNT logging show. It's the TNT logging show. Gotta get it, let's go.
But most people like this get satisfied in what they in. You know, it just don't work like that.
Right.
Yeah, it just don't work like that.
You gotta be driven,
Right.
in a sense,
Mm-hmm.
to keep on pushing yourself to the higher heights
High.
possible.
That's right.
That's just what it is. You only have one life to achieve what you want to achieve,
Right.
and we don't live always.
That's right.
So it's important that we continue to push ourselves, continue to do less, foolish stuff or stuff that doesn't matter, and use our time wisely.
That's right.
That's just what it is.
Yeah.
For as working up to that, it was one point of time, basically was one of the biggest loggers in Hinds County, where you left off from, to let them know how you became, first getting to the log, getting the truck, getting your skidder, the timeline to on past that.
Yeah, well, before I started in really logging, I was hauling pulpwood. And we had to tote that wood. Cut those trees down and we had to push it on each other's shoulder and tote that wood to the truck and throw it off on the pulpwood truck to get a load.
Right.
Now we were young. I can remember it was just 3 of us, and we was getting 4 loads a day. Just toting that wood, throwing on the truck like it wasn't nothing.
Big wood.
Big wood. And wood, it takes 2 people to put it on your shoulder. And when you get to the truck, it takes 2 people to throw it off. You couldn't throw it off the truck because you off your shoulder because it was so big. And we did that for years. And they turned around, then they started making a thing we call a loader they put on a truck. But you had to get a plummet, like a plummet or Dodge back end. They was hard. And they cut that back end off and put a spool on it with a cable and a brake on the end where it would draw that wood to the truck. So that gave us some relief. And so we haul pulpwood like that, and sometimes we would get 100 and some loads a week. Hard working young men. And but I kept on doing that, and then it came to the place I joined the union up there, the labor union. And I'm gonna show you how work ethic will put you in a place that you don't know you could be in. After I joined the union, they would give me a job, and every job they would give me, that we go out on it and building, we were building buildings. And the superintendent would always find enough love to make me the foreman. Now that's our young man.
Yeah. And now, is this before you started logging, or was
Well, I was logging and doing all at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was logging, working construction, and doing it all at the same time. Yeah, I would get off in the evening. If I got off of work in the evening about 3 o'clock, go to the woods and get me a load of wood. And then slow down. I kept getting up. And they made me the foreman of the job, paid me extra $1 or $2 just for doing that. And every job I went to, they always increased my pay, was increased every job. It wasn't going backwards, it was forward.
Yes, sir.
I was going forward. Every job I had from that day on, it would pay me $1 more, pay me 50 cents more. That's kept me going up. And so that's why hard work ain't never killed nobody.
Right.
That's the thing about that. And if you work hard, you can get some of the things you want. And then I worked hard because I didn't want my children to go through what I had been through. Yeah, so those are the kind of things you have to look at. And then a logger, you got to be very tough. Right. Yeah, you got to be very tough, and you got to have your mind always on the job.
Right.
Always on the job. And that's the only way you can make it, because it was making it hard for us as it was, but we overcome it.
Right.
Yeah. And so I look at the loggers today, they got it made.
Right.
They got a machine with heaters and air in them, and I used to have to go out there in the morning time, the ground froze, something coming loose on the skid up on the bottom or something. I had to lay down on that cold ground. Fix it, man. Had to fix it. But I kept pushing. I kept pushing it, bringing me up to the point I'm as now. And so I all the loggers grew up with me. Most all of them dead now and gone, but we was all old loggers that knew how to log.
Right.
Yeah, and what logging was all about. Yeah, I was the #1 logger here in April, Mississippi. And they would have buy wood, and some of the loggers they had couldn't get it.
Right.
And they would take me to the job or the place and say, man, I bought this wood. I said, but I can't get nobody to get it out. And said, I heard you was the best logger, heel logger it was. And he said, I need to get that wood out of there. I said, well, how bad did you need it?
Right, and then there's one thing we want to talk about. When you reach the peak season of your logging career, I want you to let them know what year, pretty much what time frame this was, how many guys you had working for you, what other businesses other than logging that you had going on as well.
Right.
So pretty much once you reach your peak season in logging, how many trucks were you running?
I was running at one time. I was running 6 trucks of my own, my own trucks, and I had I think 13 guys that were working for me, and they drive trucks, running skidders, but I had 13 guys working for me, and I would buy my timber.
Now, what about the machines? For as what all machines you had? You had 5 trucks, 6 trucks.
6 trucks.
Had 6 trucks, 13 guys. And what was this back in the 80s, 90s?
Yeah, this was back in about the 80s. Yeah, in the 80s.
Okay, this was back in the 80s. Okay.
I owned 3 John Deere skidders. I bought me
3 John Deere
skidders
now.
Yeah, 3 of them. I had 3 of them running. John Deere skidders. and we would always kept that wood moving. Kept it moving. Yeah, we kept it moving, and
you buy timber too.
They buy timber too. And so this guy had this one track of timber. He couldn't get it. He had a log of his own, but that man couldn't get it. And he took me over there, and it was off in a hollow, just straight down. And he said, I know I heard you could do it. I said, well, how bad do you want it?
Right.
He said, I ain't got no choice, cause I done spent that money. And I told him, I said, well, the thing about it, I said, it's on the ground.
Right.
I said, as long as I ain't got to have an airplane to get it, I get it.
Yes, sir. Yes,
and I told him I get it. So it took me 2 days to cut a road into that thing. See, most loggers don't understand that. When you down a straight hill, you can't cut the road straight down. You got to cut it sideways, zigzag to get down in there for the machine to work itself back up. And it was so steep, I had to hook my skidder to the back of my dozer. So when I got so far, I couldn't dozer and bag up the skidder to help pull me back to get the road into there. And I got that wood out. That man paid me, man, what I wanted. He paid me what I wanted. He said, man, you a tough logger. But you have to use your head.
Right.
You got to use your head.
That's the main thing. You have to use your head and just, your ability, your work ethic, and the rest is basically what it is.
That's right.
Early 90s, how many loads you think y'all averaged back in them days?
Well, I think the most I ever got was 66 loads a week. I would put out something like 66 loads a week, and which was big back in that day.
Man.
Yeah, running.
If you get 60 loads a week now, that's good.
I
30-some years, nearly 40 years later.
And that's it. I pumped 66 loads out in a week. And man, I tell you, it just, God just been with me. It just been with me, but
Now, Dick, what other stuff you had going on? I know one time, as a kid, I remember you, you done, little working man. You putting the tools back up? Fine.